Okay, well, let's see if this is a bad idea or not. No, no, give me this. There we go. Oh, damn it. Oh, well, we will need that. And I'm in luck. That is the correct system spec. Awesome. Okay, so... Oh, man, I don't know what settings what all kinds of settings I'm going to be running, but... Wait, can I have this? Oh, no, that's not gonna... No, oh, no, and the window disappeared. Oh, there it is. Okay, well, this is gonna suck. Yeah, this is gonna suck. Okay, well, that test worked. So... Okay. No, did that. So... Well, let's get into it, I guess. Oh, and now the mouse is laggy, of course. Anyway, get out of the way, please, cable. Thank you. I need to clean up those screws eventually. Anyway, back to game. So, you might be looking at this live stream like, oh my god, Buildzoid's playing a video game for once. Yeah, no, we're not playing a video game. I'm benchmarking a video game. So, I built this. So this is modded Minecraft. This is my personal favorite mod pack. Which, as you can see, has 115 mods, which isn't actually, like, the biggest mod pack I've ever played on. I think the biggest one I've ever played on was, like, 360. But at that point, you have, at that point, it's just a matter of time before a memory leak shows up, and it's just kind of not fun. Also, waiting, like, a minute for all of the mods, actually, multiple minutes, for the stupid thing to load and chew up 10 gigs of RAM is just no fun. Which, actually, I'm kind of wondering how much RAM this is using currently. Yeah, so this mod pack is very tame. But it's also my favorite mod pack, so it's kind of the one I care about in terms of performance. Anyway, before this, I've never run Minecraft on an NVIDIA GPU. I've never run Minecraft on a 5000 series CPU. And my personal system... So, I just need to talk about this, because my personal system is a 2700X with 3400... And did it crash? Oh, just the capture card being derp. Anyway, so my personal system is a 2700X with 3400 CL16 memory? Yeah. Or actually, no, it's CL14. So 3400 CL14, Crucial Ballistics, dual rank, and a very overclocked RX 580. Like, that RX 580 is right around the same level of performance as, like, a stock R9 Fury. And the thing is, this scene that we're looking at, which here is running at almost 400 frames per second, on my daily system, because I built this on my daily, and then I didn't benchmark it on my daily seriously, because I realized, like, wait a minute, I have to go to the BIOS, change settings, get back into the system. Too much work, not doing that. Because, like, the main idea was basically... actually, no, we'll get to that. Anyway, on my daily, this runs at 97 FPS with horrible stutter. Like, if I try to fly around in this is smooth, which I don't know how smooth it is on stream. But on my personal system, this is, like, borderline unplayable at this point. And here, it's like, what? How is this so... So anyway, this is way smoother than I thought it should be. Than I was expecting it to be. Which is probably, like, it's a combination of things. One, the 5950X has a way better memory system than a 2700X. Two, this is an NVIDIA GPU, and NVIDIA's OpenGL implementation is way better than AMD's. So yeah, but when you turn this whole thing off, the frame rate should go up to around 600, yeah. So this thing, basically, it's just a bunch of redstone stuff. It does a whole lot of nothing. There's some block breaking going on over here, which is pretty fun. Yeah, so there's just a bunch of stuff set up. And the idea is that, you know, like, on my personal system, it just chugs. Like, it absolutely chugs. And here, this is just like, no, this is fine. 300 bloody FPS. So we'll be testing the memory performance in this. Because Java is very famous for being memory intensive. And, well, like, Minecraft is written in Java. And so I got the idea, like, could we not test memory performance in just Java Minecraft? And so, yeah, here we are. So right now, this is just running completely stock. And also, I've set it up so that if you just go right here, then you just look at that redstone torch, and it always, like, the idea being that if I just look at that redstone torch while standing right in this corner, then I'm always looking at the same thing, so the frame rate should be pretty consistent. Like, the main thing is that this is mostly trying to be a CPU benchmark, so it doesn't really matter what the GPU is looking at, but the chunk updates should be consistent. So this is right now running around 300 to 400 FPS. Earlier, when I first fired this up, I actually had the system set up such that this was spitting out 500 FPS. Oh wait, no, that was with a different number of chunk render distance. But anyway, I had it set, like, we're gonna see. Because I actually, like, I've never, like, this is, yeah. So I've never done this. And also, I'm surprised that this can run, like, this is running 4 times faster than my daily system. I am so annoyed. Like, it's 4 times faster than my personal system. You've got to be, like... It's not like, this is supposed to be a stuttery mess. Anyway, so we'll just save and quit out of that. So right now, this is just running the, like, JDEC settings of the memory. Stock CPU, stock everything. And actually, I should probably lock the CPU clock speed so the CPU is not, like... affecting the performance, but yeah, so JDEC is just 2400 CL16, and we're going to be testing single rank, dual rank, all the way up to like 3800 CL14, and see how it impacts Minecraft. So, what the memory change? No, like, we're just looking at FPS. So, yeah, because the idea is, like, I'm kind of thinking now that I've, like, since this runs so freaking well on the 5950X, I might end up, like, if I figure out that this scales pretty well with memory today, I might scale up the big useless machine to something even bigger and more ridiculous to force even more chunk up, like, well, it's not just chunk updates, it's just, like, every single, like, redstone to anything else interaction, like, the CPU has to deal with that. The GPU just has to render the output of that, so I'm probably just going to build an even bigger pointless machine like that, and see if I can't drag it back down into the, like, 100 FPS range, and maybe that'll be a bit more memory intensive, but, yeah, like... Already, like, if the machine isn't running, we get 600 FPS. The machine starts running, we get 400 FPS. I'd say the machine is doing its job quite well. I'm sure if I wanted to, I could build a 200 FPS machine. Actually, before we do that, I want to test TNT, because one of the big things in this mod pack for me is there's, like, a TNT mod in there, and I love explosions. And I spend a lot of time just sort of building ridiculous TNT cannons to propel very, very high-powered TNTs far enough away that they don't destroy whatever was firing them. So I'm kind of wondering, like, how much does that lag? So we're just going to make a new world. Ooh, I wonder how long it's going to render for a world. Like, does this still take forever, or is this going to be way faster as well? That's faster. Yeah, that... Everything is faster. Why? You can't do this to me. Okay. Yeah, literally everything, like, I've never... Like, this mod pack isn't supposed to be this smooth. Like, it's never been this smooth before. Okay, and yeah, let's just grab some dynamite. That's not fair. Like, no. Well, so NVIDIA is, like, Minecraft is the reason I'm gonna go NVIDIA. And I can't believe that. It's like, can we make this, like, okay. Thanks for the super chat, claimed Lizard. Like, it's just... And... Okay, this is still kinda chugging, but it's still nowhere near as bad as what I'm used to. How much TNT did I put down? Still going, still going. Like, it's actually updating, though. Like, still going. How much... Okay, I think I overdid that a little. Yeah, it's not bad. That's really smooth. That is for like for dropping a nuke in Minecraft. That is really smooth. Okay, well, let's get to the overclocking. Yeah, so looks like I'm getting Nvidia just for Minecraft, and I might actually upgrade my CPU for Minecraft. I hate like so. Fun fact: the main reason my daily system has 32 gigs of RAM, Minecraft. The main reason actually, that's kind of it. Like, the main reason was literally just Minecraft mod packs getting too huge. And I guess the next big upgrade to my daily system, like, I switched over from the degraded 1700 to a 2700X recently, just because the 1700 was literally incapable of, like, functioning anymore. But, and I swapped the motherboard because the motherboard was also not working properly. But, yeah, now, like, the first serious upgrade for my daily system is just like, I want to play Minecraft at, like, not a slideshow. How high do you think 4 of your sticks, but with 16 gigs each, can clock? Don't run 4x16. Or, well, no, just don't run 4x16. If you want 32 gigs of RAM, run 2x32. It's way easier to work with. The performance is very similar. Should we just enable XMP? Yeah, let's just enable XMP. So previously it was running around sort of 400-ish FPS on the Benchy map. This is not like, yeah, like modded Minecraft, like the biggest mod pack I've played would need literally, I think, 9 gigs to start. Like, in order to be able to load into a world, you needed 9 gigs of RAM. Because otherwise, it would just lock up. And it was just like, nope, we're not starting anymore. But that mod pack was basically my friends going like, yeah, we'll just download every mod that sounds cool and put it all together. And of course, that developed a memory leak eventually, so that's just... Like, you can't play it for a long amount of time, because eventually it just dies, basically. But, okay, so now we're at XMP. And I should make a shortcut for multi-MC. So that I don't have to go into the folder all the time. Yeah, so I think it's one of these... Oh, no, it's this one. This one's really brutal. But we're not going to run that one. I just want to check... where is it? Edit instance. Yeah. Yeah, so this, and if I'm not mistaken, the config on this is... Okay, no, it's 6 gigs to start. Wait, is this the one? Or, no, that's... Which one was it? There was one that was just absolutely stupid. Oh no, so it was 6 gigs to start, but... One of them, well, actually, the thing is, it doesn't. Whatever, we're not gonna mess around with that. Like, I know for a fact that there was a mod pack where it was just like, yeah, on 16 gigs of RAM, it was not very, like, you couldn't have other stuff open at the same time, because it just did not like that. Anyway, so now we're at 3600, 14, 15, 15, so that's a pretty aggressive XMP. Just gonna play this one, we're just gonna launch offline. BZ VS Minecraft. I wonder how far we can push it with like the settings actually. Like how much can I overclock the RAM before Minecraft starts crashing? Is that a 1080 Ti KP? Yes, it is. Originally I was planning to bench Firestrike with the 5950X, but I've also just sort of in the back of my like it's just been an idea that, you know, like, I have a lot of ideas that I don't do. And so it's been sitting in the back of my head that, hey, we should try, like, doing a memory benchmark in Minecraft. And so the machine is running. And, yeah. So this thing doesn't want to load in. We need to turn it off. And then we can load it in, because, unfortunately, this is just too much random redstone crap. Oh, so that's not... Okay, so all the chunks are loaded in around here. Good. And now we can turn it back on. I'm going to need to build a bigger machine, I think, though. And maybe use an even heavier mod pack. Let's look at the torch. So that didn't really make much of a difference. Right, like, before it was doing, like, I'm going to let it go through the... Yeah, it didn't seem to make much of a difference at all. Going from... Wait, did I have the Infinity Fabric overclocked before? I might have. Like, previously it was running... I'm going to need to figure out some way to, like, properly record this if we're not going to see massive FPS differences. But before it would dip down into the 370 range, but... Like, we're still doing... Yeah, minimum 380... I wish Minecraft was a bit more consistent. Go away, Windows. This isn't, like, it's not connected to the internet. You don't need to warn me about the firewall. So it's maybe up, like, 30 frames. Which at 400 FPS is actually, like, that's a decent amount. If, like... Obviously not being super scientific here, because I was hoping for, like, really... Well, I'm hoping for really drastic differences. So, that was slightly over 40 instead of... slightly over 400 instead of slightly under 400, so... Now I'm going to tighten up all the sub-timings, though I think... Actually, wait, this memory kit has already... Oh, we can tighten them up more. Can you up your volume a bit? No, if I raise the volume anymore, I'm going to start clipping in OBS. Like, like, seriously, like, I'm going to start clipping in OBS. Can't do anything about it. I have one of those mini PCs in Minecraft that have to do something. Yeah, I just build a really giant redstone machine. It doesn't even need to be a PC, it just needs to be a really long chain of redstone stuff. And I guess I could also use, like, various pipes and stuff to, like, move items around through chests. That's probably pretty... That would probably add some load. The thing is, like, setting that up is more difficult than setting up the... What's it called? Setting up the redstone. Actually, probably just having a bunch of sticky pistons would probably be pretty decent as well. Just, like, shuffling blocks around. And this is the moment when I realize that I've been running... Okay, no, I've been running stock FCLK the whole time. Okay, good. It's like... Because if the FCLK was overclocked when it was at 2400 CL16, that would have made a pretty big difference. So we're not going to do anything to the primaries, but... TR, actually, yes, we are. Gonna go 14, 14, 14, 28, actually, 24, 38, TWR 10, TCWL 12, 4, 4, 3, actually, 260, 8, 4, RTP 10, TFAW 16, SCL 4. Actually, we could probably do SCL 2. Like, I'm gonna drop it on the ground right now. No. I don't trust 2 to boot. I'm not, like, I've not tried it before, so I don't really want to fight the board. We're gonna go for easy settings. 4 memory sticks? Yeah, 4 memory sticks. It's not 4 memory sticks, it's about having dual rank. You can just download someone's map with some big redstone machine in it. Yeah, but I need it to be compatible. Well, I guess I could, if it's a vanilla map, then I can shove it in the mod pack. Yeah, but I want, like, the thing is, like, I was just gonna build a bigger machine. That's fine. I'm not gonna do that on stream if you're like, Buildzoid, I don't want to watch you play Minecraft. It's like, no, you're not gonna have to watch me play Minecraft. I'm gonna play Minecraft on my own. That's not what this stream is supposed to be about. RL Craft mod pack, and good luck. Play MC, no. Well, I don't know, like, the thing is... Yeah, I don't really want to play Minecraft on stream. Okay, so I should have turned off the machine because it doesn't like rendering this first chunk every time I load in. Okay, well, it seems to all be here. Oh. Now F3. And is it running slower? Yeah, it looks like it's actually running slow. Why are we getting 300 chunk updates, though? Oh, it must be because I flew around a bit. It is running slower, though. Could it be like slightly unstable? The thing is, the chunk updates are like way up compared to before. Okay, now the chunk updates are coming down, and the frame rate, and... Why is it running more chunk updates than before? Like, before it was around 220-ish? Now it's doing like 250 and it's eating my FPS. I wonder if I just drop the render distance. There has to be some way to make it, like, consistent. Okay, no. Not 2. 6, maybe. Back to game. Also, I guess if we run it at enough frame rate, then, like, the CPU will, like... Well, actually, I'm not sure how that'll work out. No, the chunk updates are still the same. The FPS is up, though. Well, this is going to be super annoying. If I turn off... Wait, what? Okay, minimal... Okay, well... Okay, well now it's running a lot faster, but I think that's mostly because I took load off the GPU. Come on. So this is going to be really annoying to work with if it's not going to be consistent. So I'm going to just bump it back up to 12. Because that's what it was at before. Like, that's what I started with. And... like, it is running slower. Did I, like, miss something? I should lock the CPU clock. Because looking at that, like, actually... wait. I'm going to go inventory there. So that'll keep Minecraft running in the background. So we're hitting like 4.8 gigahertz running Minecraft sometime. And this is why I don't get why we need like crazy high single core boost. Like this is about as single threaded as you're gonna get. The CPU still doesn't go to 5 gigahertz. And it's hitting 4.9 occasionally. And it's for like actually 4.925 on this core. Anyway, I am going to lock the CPU, though, because I do think maybe the CPU is getting in the way of it. GN tests RTX Minecraft with a map that moves. Yeah, but they're testing RTX, so they need, like, to look around and stuff. Whereas I'm just testing, like... basically what I'm trying to test for is how much stuff can the CPU process. So I don't have to move at all, because as long as there's, like, block updates going on, the game is going to have, like, the CPU doing work. So as long as, like, basically, if you just have a really, really big, pointless redstone machine that has a lot of, like, I would assume, well, actually, it's Minecraft. It's probably not optimized at all. Like, I would assume you kind of want independent circuits, but maybe you could even have, like, one circuit, and that would be enough to, like, trigger, like, a ton of updates for no good reason. But anyway, so we're going to go to 45. 1.35 volts, which admittedly is going to drop the performance initially. And you know what? We're going to stop using XMP, and I'm just going to do this all manually. Much easier that way to control all the variables. So we're going to start at like 2400, which is JDEC. And then I'm going to start working up. And I think I'm happy with that. Oh wait, I forgot to set the LLC. What is VDDP voltage? Which one? The CLDO VDDP or the other VDDP? Because the other VDDP, I have no idea. CLDO VDDP, on the other hand, is the is a supporting voltage for the memory controller. And basically, you shouldn't have to set it above 1.1. So, like, this one is supporting voltage for the memory. No, that's not CLDO VDDP. Wait, does this board even expose that voltage? Oh, there. Wait. Yeah, so this is actual, like, so this is CLDO VDDP. And the description says VDDP is a voltage for DDR4 bus signaling PHY, so that's the memory controller, and is derived from your DRAM voltage. So, yeah. And then there's the other VDDP voltage, which I'm not sure if that's the one, but it might be that one. I'm not like... The thing is, there's two voltages called VDDP, and one of them you should, as far as I'm concerned, just kind of ignore that it exists. And And the other one, actually, you can mostly ignore the motherboards. Generally do a good job of setting it for you. Anyway, the one thing I did want to change, set this to medium. Can leave everything else auto. Received a G-Skill 2x16 3600 CL14. I'm having trouble running it outside of QVL on Z390. So your biggest mistake right there is having a Z390 motherboard and trying to run 16 gig DIMMs. Like Z390 boards, most of them have no idea what a 16 gig DIMM is and how to work with it. Well, more like, because you have a 3614, I'm going to assume you have a dual rank B-die 16 gig DIMM. Which basically means, yeah, your motherboard just has no idea what it's doing. And unfortunately, there's, like, I'm not aware of anything you can do to make it better other than hope that your motherboard vendor puts out a BIOS update that fixes it. Because basically the boards just, like, have a massive compatibility problem with those kinds of memory kits. Damn it, launch. Hey Buildzoid, I have a 3700X on a Strix B550F. Would I get more performance on 32 gigs of 3600 1515 or 4016 1919? My FCLK goes to 2000 megahertz. I am not sure how 4016 1919 compares to 3600 1515. Also, a 3700X really shouldn't be doing 2000 megahertz. Though maybe yeah, like it really shouldn't be doing 2000 FCLK. Which is, though the thing is, I'm kind of wondering if like maybe AMD, like the stuff that AMD is doing to make high FCLK work on 5000 series, if it doesn't have side effects for 3000 series. Okay, now it's running way worse. Okay, so underclocking. Okay, wait. So now it's running awfully. I'm going to actually start taking notes this time instead of just kind of trying to eyeball it and remember it, because that's obviously not working. But I would, like, assuming you can actually run 2000, I would assume 4016-19 would be faster, especially if you run the same sub-timings, which you can, assuming that you set your sub-timings manually. Okay, so the frame rate just is really, really inconsistent, isn't it? How would I record, like, I guess I'd have to record, like, a long enough pass of Minecraft to get something useful out of it. Because, it was over 300 at some point, wasn't it? Got the torch. Yeah, it's doing 300-ish. But it was also doing like 270 at some point. Now it does 300, and then it starts going back down. It's a Maximus XI gene. It just won't go past it no matter what I do, not even 3600 1919. Yeah, that's what I meant by the compatibility issues, though. For the gene, I think if you try the latest BIOS, that one might work a little bit better with 16 gig DIMMs. But generally speaking, Z390 motherboards, outside of like MSI boards, 16 gig DIMMs don't work. Like, you could just give up. Like, I've had boards where even 3466 just doesn't turn on. So, yeah, like, it's really, like, Z390... Most motherboards absolutely hate 16 gig DIMMs, or more like dual rank DIMMs. It's not even about the capacity, it's just like if you have a dual rank memory stick, Z390 hates it. Okay, now we're doing over 300. So I'm just going to note that down as like 270 to 320. I'll round up. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. And that is 4.5 gigahertz with 2400 auto RAM. Yeah, I'm gonna call that one done. And did the system die just now, or? No, the mouse dropped out. Ah. And the mouse is back. Had to unplug it and plug it back in. I'm pretty sure I have global C states disabled, though. Actually, you could maybe try go through, if you're already on the latest BIOS, maybe you could try go through some of the older ones, but under most circumstances, I just expect dual rank DIMMs don't work on Z390. That's just kind of how Z390 does, unfortunately. I have the feeling we're not going to necessarily see much of a difference if I just go to 3200, but I'm going to try it anyway. Oh yeah, we're already at 1.5 because I'm a very sensible person. 14, 28. USB issue is resolved on the B550 OS Pro with F11N BIOS. Yeah, I'll have to check out the later BIOSes. Highest RAM on 3400G. I never had a 3400G, but with the 2200G, I was benching at like 3666. Dual rank memory recommend for 3800 C14 or 4000 C15. I'm asking so I can most performance 59 B450. Tomahawk. You're not doing 4000 C15 on dual rank on that board. Like on a B450, you're not doing that. Well, actually, no, that's not entirely true. If you run Crucial, if you run Micron, you can do 4015. But performance-wise, it would probably just kind of lose to a dual rank B-die setup at 3800-ish. Do you think resizable bar will come to Z390? I have no idea. I've not really been paying much attention to that feature. The highest RAM I can get is 4000, but it's not stable. Well, that doesn't really surprise me. Also, I don't believe I ever went for max frequency with the 2200G. Like, I was just going for max performance, and 3733 already had to run such loose timings that it wasn't worth it. Was this Crosshair 8 Dark Hero ever in stock? And of course a chunk of the map doesn't load. Okay. Look at the torch. And it's running about this, well, it just went to 331. But I don't know if I should count that, so I'm gonna wait for a little bit. This is a really terrible way of trying to do this. 331 again. It's still doing 300 chunk updates, and it's running consistently over 300 in my, like, unless it decides to randomly nosedive. Anyway, I'll be taking questions while waiting for the, like, while, I'll try to take questions while watching this. Okay, it just did a 343. So, that's like 362. Why is it 348? It seems to be speeding up. You can overclock RAM in Minecraft? No. I'm checking what happens to performance in Minecraft with overclocked RAM. Vintage Minecraft blend. Well, yeah. Got a B550 Vision D, and now I'm planning to get Team Dark Pro 3200 CL14. How much should I expect to achieve with that kind of RAM? 3800 CL14, easy. Actually, okay, not 3814 easy, but, like, it's the same thing as the 3200 CL14 G-Skill kit I had. Like, there's really... The memory sticks go higher than what is practical. Please don't delete the VOD. I don't delete VODs. I just unlist them. And this one's also gonna be unlisted. Because if I figure out that this is actually a viable way of testing memory performance, then I'll just do a nice little 30-minute video about benchmarking RAM performance in Minecraft. And we won't need to have like a 3-hour live stream. Would I lose performance using 4x8 SR on Aorus Extreme Rev 1.1? X570? You'd be fine. That is completely like, if you're on X570 running 4x8, unless you're on some super cheapo motherboard, is fine. It is running way better than before. Also, the chunk updates are now way down. What if I fly around? Oh, wait, I've just realized something. You know what's also a potential issue? My trash operating system. I should use, like, a stripped-down Windows 7 for this. I mean, Windows 10, but stripped down. Because this right here is not ideal. Okay, no, it still runs... It's still running way faster than before. But, like, the chunk updates are now going way down. Why are they going way down? Like, it's gone almost up, all the way up to 400 FPS at this point. Two by 16, 3600 CL18. Any chance of improving it with B550? Yeah, just, like, tighten up the sub-timings. Also, actually, if you know the version number of your sticks, you might get kind of lucky with some of those. And get some pretty good chips that can actually overclock. But if your sticks have version number 4.32, yeah, just only, like, don't try to do anything to the primaries. Maybe even set the voltage down to 1.32 volts. And then then just set your, like, sub-timings. If you have something like, well, if you have any other version, you might have some headroom. Memory usage drops off and the FPS follows. Yeah, but the thing is, like, previously it was hovering in, like, the 270 to 320 range, and now it's, like, approaching 400. So, I'm gonna call this, like, 300 to 300... Like, this is, like, 300 to 400 at this point. I'm kind of thinking I should go back to the 2400 settings and retest those. Right? Like, because maybe restarting the system does something. I hate benchmarking so much. Okay, well, no. This is why I don't normally try to test games. Though, admittedly, this is probably the worst game I could have chosen for benchmarking. But this is a game I actually care about, unlike everything else. As you can see, I really care about my Minecraft. And also from the world list that I have on that mod pack. X570 Tough Plus Wi-Fi or MSI Mag X570 Tomahawk Wi-Fi. The Tomahawk is like a completely different class of motherboard to the Plus. Like, that's not a contest. Like, the Tomahawk is just a whole tier above the Tough Plus. Also, stop spamming my chat or I'm gonna ban you. B550 Pro VDH any good? I have no idea what board that is, but consider... Wait. Yeah, I have no idea what board that is, and I just clipped the mic. And this is why I don't turn the mic up anymore, because if I do, then it starts clipping of it. Like, it's already clipping. What is this? Oh, it's an MSI board. It sounded like an... Well, actually, it sounded like all of them. Like, VDH is a suffix that's just, like, on so many motherboards that I'm like, what? And Pro is not exactly a useful identifier either. Yeah, this looks okay. Actually, it's just a B450 board with different heat sinks. Yeah, like, this is literally the different... Like, this is a B450 mortar with, different heat sinks, which is fine, I guess. It depends how much you're paying for it and what you're planning to do with it. If you're just planning to run stock, which is what I'm assuming if you're looking at a motherboard like that, then yeah, you'll be fine. Back to 2400 we go. Because, yeah, like, the thing is, just, like, if I go back and forth enough times, then we'll have enough, like, data points to go, like, okay, this is actually a thing. Got 2x16 G-Skill 3200 CL14K. It doesn't go past 4000 megahertz. Normal for dual rank B-die. On Ryzen, yeah. Well, depends also what motherboard, but Ryzen definitely dual rank is kind of difficult to run above 4000. And it actually doesn't matter if you're in 2x16 or 4x8 for that. Like, both of them... Like, it kind of changes where the wall is, but you really don't go much above 4000 in either configuration, in my experience. Actually, wait. Can I? No. Launch offline. Damn it. Why am I so bad at using a mouse? And it did it anyway, so I have to do it like that. Okay, well, whatever. Yo, Buildzoid, another question. Is 850 watt 80 plus bronze PSU enough for overclocking 3700X and 2080 Ti? What 80 plus bronze PSU are you buying? Because there are some decent 80 plus bronze power supplies at 850 watts. But most of the time, if I hear 850 watts and 80 plus bronze, I'm thinking like... They're like some super cheap Garbo power supply. Easy. Watching you for a while, you rock. Massively appreciate everything you do. Well, that makes one of us. Play Benchy. On your previous rambling video about motherboards, you mentioned the Aorus Extreme Rev 1.1 had different topology than Rev 1.0. Could you clarify what you meant? Literally different. The way the memory stick, the DIMM slots have different... Like, the memory traces going from the DIMM slots to the CPU are better. It's not like they went from a daisy chain to T topology. It's like, it's still a daisy chain. It's just a better daisy chain. Which is part of why some motherboards are good at overclocking and some aren't. Okay, now this is running at 400 FPS as well. Oh, wait, no, I was in the menu. Okay, 350. Okay, this is definitely not very consistent. Yeah, no, it's going all the way back up to 400, isn't it? Maybe I should have gone for, like, super ridiculous settings to compare against. Bad at using the mouse because your life is mostly spent in BIOS. No, the real issue is actually that, like, what I'm looking at is the OBS feed for the, or for, like, the OBS feed of what OBS is capturing. So there's a bunch of delay on the mouse input because I move the mouse, the system renders the mouse moving, that gets fed to the capture card, that goes to OBS, OBS does its thing, and then I get to look at it. Not exactly like the same kind of thing as using a mouse on the system that it's actually plugged into. The font rendering is expensive. Is it expensive CPU-wise or GPU-wise? Because either way, I don't necessarily care that much. The second... Oh, and yeah, okay, yeah. It is pretty heavy, isn't it? It's like 100 FPS right there. Corsair is the cheapest good ones. When it comes to cheap RAM, I wouldn't say... Wait, how cheap are we talking? Like 2400 CL16 cheap or like just 3200 CL16? Because 3200 CL16, like, no. And 2400 CL16, at that point, it doesn't matter what you're buying. Like, it's a memory stick. There's not that much to screw up about it. I overclocked my 3600 CL16 kit to 3800 CL14. Is that good for Rev E? That's pretty normal for Rev E. What motherboard? I like MSI BIOSes. I've had an Enermax Revolution 85 Plus for 1250 for 10 years. See, the funny thing about electronics failing is that they fail suddenly. So, something running for 20... Actually, even people... literally everything. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine, until it's not. Right? Well, there are exceptions to that. But a lot of the time, everything is fine until it just suddenly isn't. Okay, so that was like 350 FPS on average. Okay, so now this is like, okay, well, my plan is not working. I guess I'm gonna go for like ridiculous settings. Go for the best. Because like the thing is, like when you have various power components fail, right? Like the way they fail is just kind of like they work, and the thing, like you don't get like... Well, actually, no. If you were monitoring the efficiency of your power supply as it's about to die, you can actually tell when it's about to die just because the efficiency starts falling off a cliff. But normal, like if you don't actively monitor the efficiency of the power supply, you have no indication when it's about to give up at all. There's no way to tell. Because a lot of the controllers will compensate if the power delivery components start failing and the voltage would start dropping. Like the controllers can compensate for that to some extent, which will arguably make the failure even worse. But yeah, so that's kind of the thing. It's like saying a power supply is like not expecting a PSU to fail because you've used it way past the warranty period is like, yeah, this is not how that works. DCWL, we're gonna go 12, 4, 4, 8. Actually, I'm gonna go 300 TRFC this time. 600, I mean 16, 10, 4. I'm not sure if this RAM will run this at normal voltage, so we're going to bump it up because I don't really care for being super stable. So for enhancement, FCLK frequency, we're just going to go to 1900, which also means I should probably do something about VDDG. CCD, we're going to go 1000 and 1100. And core SOC, we're going to go 1.15. That should be enough. Which 3090 will you buy? Probably a Strix. Is Rev E safe at 1.5? Well, yes, it's fine at 1.5 volts. Power supply is 10 years old and still working. Well, yeah, like, something's still working doesn't prove that it's fine, though. Like, that's my whole point, is like, yeah, it can still be working until the day it isn't. Bought a Z390 Asus Gaming Plus, and it randomly loses power. All lights turn off, including GPU LED. When PC is on site, it comes back. I have a big Noctua HD 14 CPU. CPU mounting could be issue. Yeah, your CPU cooler might be flexing the board so much that the CPU, or like it might be putting so much weight on the CPU that it's like losing pin contact. Okay, now we need to get like 500 FPS or something, or this is just not working the way I want it to. Okay, rendering all the chunks. So when we first load into the world, it's obviously going to be a bit slow. I guess that makes sense. And it's performing the same as before. Yeah, I need to figure out a better way to test this. So this isn't working, like, at all. Which is pretty annoying. Well, at least it confirms my theory that on my personal system, the main problem is the RX 580 and not the CPU. I wonder if this will drop if I underclock the chip a bunch. Like, I wonder how slow we can, like, how low do I have to clock the 5950X in order to make this not run, like, at almost 400 FPS? Though, admittedly, this is the first time I've seen it break 400 FPS, but, like, it's so inconsistent, I don't actually want to call that, like, oh, that's from the RAM overclock. Like, this is the highest frame rate I've seen so far. But also, that's, I think, the least chunk updates I've seen as well. So, like, it was just like 217 chunk updates right there. I really need to figure out, like, that looks fat. Like, the freaking FPS readout is saying 418, which it didn't do before at all. At the same time, like the problem is, like, I'm biased in favor of the memory overclock performing better. So, yeah, that's not great. Isn't Minecraft a Java application? Exactly. That's why we're testing memory overclocking on it, because it's Java, and Java loves RAM. So theoretically, it should love fast RAM even more so. And it probably does. But Minecraft is a horrible benchmark. This is way too inconsistent. Actually, I want to try something. This shouldn't work. And it doesn't work. I wonder if... Okay, no, there's no way I'm getting this to run on a gigabyte motherboard. Anyway, that's like an MSI motherboard utility for overclocking. I was kind of hoping we could just use that, but nope, of course not. To change the CPU ratio, but... Well, I mean, before it was doing like 350-ish, now it was doing like 400 to 420. Which, like, admittedly is the highest frame rate I've seen so far. At the same time, it's just like the whole thing is so inconsistent that... Not really, like... I'm not sold. Loving RAM doesn't equal utilizing RAM. Yeah, but if you're not able to use the memory, like, if you have a bunch of data sitting in memory, and you have to do something with it, then logically, faster RAM should help with that. I wonder what that'll do to the frame rate. Like, we're gonna run 2 gigahertz instead of 4.5. Having issues OCing 4x8 Patriot Viper Steels on 570 Elite. Oh, what, like, like, that board really isn't optimal for that memory configuration. It's the first issue, but I'm trying to... Like, what voltages and settings are you running? Like, mostly just voltages. So, like, SoC voltage, memory voltage. So even then, like, you should be fine at 1.2. No background, what, BGM background music? I have background music, it's just not picking up on the mic anymore, I guess. .45 on the RAM, 1.1 SoC. What is it doing? Does it, like, just not post, or is it, like, unstable, or... Now we're at, like, less than half the original core clock. Oh my god. Wait, seriously? Like, are you serious? Like, we're running at 50? So... What I'm getting from that, the performance scaling is like, that doesn't really make, like, it shouldn't drop more than, like, we're legit at 60 frames. That doesn't, like, that shouldn't be happening, though. Like, I was expecting, like, 150 or something. Not 70. Like, I cut the clock speed in half, not down to one, what is this, like, 1/5? There is no RTX. This is Java Minecraft. Oh yeah, like, it starts... And no, at this point it's just like Minecraft being stuttery because Minecraft gets stuttery. Like, this is what it feels like on my daily system in this machine. Okay, well, actually this feels a little bit worse, but... Yeah, this is great. This is exactly what I wanted. So, okay. So the CPU obviously affects the frame rate. If you drop the clock speed low enough, it definitely affects the frame rate. Why don't you allocate more RAM to the game? Because the game will literally, like, if you just tell the game to allocate more RAM, it will, and then it won't do anything with it. No, we went down to 2 gigahertz, and it's, like, less than half the speed. Like, I was expecting it to run at, like, half the frame rate, because it's, like, half the core clock, but no, it ran at, like, it ran at a fifth, which is like, what? How does that work? Anyway, back to 45. So, you know what? Let's add a second set of memory sticks in there and see what that does. Let's go to dual rank. There we go. 4 memory sticks now. Now, this is a configuration I tested earlier today, and that seemed to, like, there seemed to be a pretty big drop going from 4x8 to 2x8, but I don't know, like, with how inconsistent it's been so far, that might have been a fluke. So, yeah, we're at 3,800, 14, 14, 14 on 4x8 at this point. Let's see how this does. No, these are single rank sticks. I'm not gonna run freaking, like, 4x dual, like, quad rank is terrible for the memory controller. And, like, you shouldn't run it unless you desperately need 128 gigs of RAM. Dual rank makes perfect sense because it's actually fast. Quad rank is like, I need 128 gigs of RAM and nothing else matters. Otherwise, it's just completely awful. Okay. Yeah, no, it must have been a fluke, because now it's running at like 300 again. Yeah, so this is just super inconsistent for some reason. Maybe I just need to build a bigger machine. Okay, so with it off, we get like 600 frames. Back on. Oh, oops. It's not the right switch. And... yeah, no, so it just, like, doesn't scale. Or more like, it's so inconsistent, it's impossible to measure any effect. Do you think I will have problem to run one of those 32x4 4000 on 5950X? Probably yes. Like, well, depends which 4x32, but I would assume it's gonna be a problem. What mod and texture pack? This is vanilla. I mean, the mods are, like, it's just 115 mods that, like, it's not like a like, it's a completely custom mod pack. So it's not like I can point you to somewhere to download it, because there isn't anywhere to download it. So yeah, my great plan to try test memory performance scaling with Minecraft just like, no, that doesn't work. It's too inconsistent. Like, it's way too inconsistent for this. Unless I just need to scale the thing up. But it's gonna, yeah. No. Like, it's just not consistent enough. There's not really anything I can do about it. Because, like, the highest frame rate I've seen was, like, 420. Which was on a slower memory configuration than what we're running right now. Oh, well. Anyway. Well, that's super annoying, because so far, it looks like the best benchmark I've found for dual rank versus single rank is, like, Lin Pack, which is, like... Oh, well. Like, that's not great. I was really hoping for something that wouldn't be synthetic, but it's like... Yeah, no. No, synthetic benchmarks are best, because you can just run them. There's much less variance. They give you a score. You don't have to, like, try to figure out how to measure them. Are you gonna try the fancy 5100 sticks that Crucial made? Here for this? No, it doesn't make any sense. There's no point. I already know. Like, I already know they don't perform. Like, those 5100 sticks are basically a memory frequency world record that you can buy, but they're not like a performance record, unfortunately. So, yeah, I don't really see a point in running them here. Give me a 3D Mark Steam key. I don't have one. TMNFF. What is that? How hot does your 5950X get with this voltage at all core load? Well, great question. Let's find out. What kind of all core load? Is Cinebench enough? Yeah, pretty hot. It's 80s. That's with a core voltage of slightly over, like, around 1.27. It's a 16 core. Like, these things run hot. Prime 95, I don't even want to know what it'll do in Prime 95. It's probably not stable for it. But we can try. Actually, no, we're going to go custom. Because the worst case scenario, I believe, is 128 for actually, no, they changed the cache sizes. Oh, no. And, yeah, instant 100 degrees, so we're going to just... Okay, you know what? So, yeah, don't, like, static the 16 cores. Terrible idea. Like, I was basically expecting that to happen. I was not expecting the system to start locking up. Like, you don't even need high LLC. Like, these are 16-core CPUs. They pull, like, the biggest problem is they're 7 nanometer. If we had it, like... Actually, no. If this was on 14 nanometer, you would need, like, well, it wouldn't instantly overheat. It would just overheat a couple seconds later. Yeah, I would literally just use PBO2, because that way you don't have to worry about what happens when my CPU gets hit with something really, really heavy. Like, I wonder at what frequency it would actually be, like, reasonable. Let's try that. Oh, and I should have downclocked the RAM. Okay, that's fine. No, I wanted to change the FCL case, so... 4.75 all-core, 1.25 volts, safe or no? Safe? Probably. Stable? I doubt it. Per CCX static is so much better. Not really. Because, like, you still have, like, it doesn't fundamentally change the fact that, like, you're just never going to be able to cool the chip in really high heat output workloads. Like, what you'd really need is some way to run completely different voltage settings, depending on what you're running. Technoblade 1v1. What is that? Also, thanks for the super chat. Okay, so 1.1 volts gets you into, like, the 70s. Yeah. Also, like, we are on a water loop, so if I let it run long enough, it'll eventually climb up in temperature. A lovely CPU. Great. Like, this is a lot like running Prime 95 on the Intel X299 chips. It's a similar experience on those. Where's the server? There is no server. Like, especially since I play single player anyway. Why when I change CPU LLC from mode 1 to mode 4, I can get up to 4.1 on my CPU? I don't know what motherboard you have, or what CPU. So, I have no idea. You might be lowering the load line, you might be, lowering the load line, raising it. I don't know. There's, both Asus and ASRock use modes for their LLC names, if I remember correctly. Actually, even MSI calls it mode. Doesn't it? Or is it level? I can't remember. Thanks for the super chat, Ryan. But, well, it's just a super chat. There's no question with it. So that left me hanging. Asus's level. I can't remember what each board vendor calls their stuff at this point. Like, so. Oh wait, if it's actually, maybe MSI is the only one to have mode. So now we're at 80, and we're at just under 1.2 volts. And we're pulling... Where's the VRM sensors? Yeah, we are pulling 170 amps. That's actually kind of low. So yeah, this right now is pulling 170 amps. How lovely. Is it actually 100%? Yeah, 100% all of the cores. So yeah, that's great. That's good stuff. Let's see if I can keep raising the voltage a little bit. Old Asus motherboards would have like low, medium, high, ultra high, extreme for the LLC settings. The thing is, since I'm testing at 4.4 gigahertz right now instead of 4.5, the power draw is a little lower. Because at 4.4 gigahertz, this would be pulling about 10% more current at the exact same settings in terms of voltage. So, yeah, that's also worth keeping in mind. Is just like... And that's a ban. No, not that one. Damn it, stop scrolling. What do you mean? Put user in timeout. No, I want to ban the guy. What do you mean I don't get a ban button? Oh, there we go. Bye-bye! Okay, now we're at 80, 90. Yeah, that's roughly what I was expecting. Because the thing is, like, yeah, I'm raising the voltage 50 millivolts every single time, but the actual increase in power draw is quadratic, so it gets worse and worse. So now we're at, like, yeah. And we're pulling 185 amps. Yay. So yeah, like, the current draw increase isn't that much, right? Like, before it was 170. Admittedly, the temperature effects are stacking up on top of that. So, and that's like low 1.2 volts. So that's really not fun. So, honestly, I wouldn't even run 1.3 considering that. Haven't seen anything that voltage sensitive. No, this is pretty normal. It's just like on other architectures, you'd see it at much higher voltages. But if you, like, honestly, X299 is extremely similar. Like, running Prime 95 on X299 is, like, exactly the same thing. Where you go over, like, you reach 1.3 volts, and the CPU just wants to destroy itself. Actually, you can't even really go to 1.3 on X299. So this isn't quite that bad. Actually, I think, no, we're going to go to low LLC. And I want to know what kind of voltage we get now. Minecraft, yeah, so the original idea was that I would try to, like, test if Minecraft scales with memory performance, which, like, it theoretically should. In practice, it's too inconsistent to make a conclusion. So now we're just, like, bashing my 5950X with Prime 95. Because that's what sensible people do. Okay, that's a little bit under 1.2 volts, so that's kind of what I was aiming for. I'm pretty pleased with myself. What about P-state overclocking? I never figured out how to get P-state overclocking to work properly, so... yeah, that's kind of my conclusion on it. Yeah, so I think 1.3 volts and low is probably the way to go, and we're still at 90 degrees. This needs a way bigger water cooling loop, and liquid metal, and, like, a lapped IHS, and just, yeah, lapped IHS, liquid metal, bigger loop. Way bigger loop. And then it might be kind of under control. What BIOS is this running? Right now we're on F11i, so not the latest BIOS. Mostly because I wanted to do a quick test and wasn't really like, yeah. Like I'll eventually use a newer BIOS, but I'm way behind on, well, I'm always behind on getting stuff done. So, you know, it's not like I'm in any like, I'm not in any particular rush to get around to updating the BIOS on this right now. Like, most of what the new BIOSes do is just allow higher FCLK, which is like, okay, neat. I guess I'll look at that eventually. What did I want to do? All right. Kind of wondering what kind of clock speed I can run in Prime 95. What FCLK? I did 1900. I've not used the high FCLK BIOSes yet. Generally is best performance on new Ryzen 3600 memory with 1-to-1-to-1. Yes. Well, 3600 is best if you don't want to overclock. If you do want to overclock, then whatever your Infinity Fabric Max is out at is best. So I wonder if this will insta-crash. Oh, no, it won't. Neat. I mean, it's super hot, but yeah, it won't insta-crash. Pulling a bit more current now. BZ, any news on houses are still searching. Still searching. That's the capture card being, well, my capture card. I want it to insta-crash. Like, I don't want to, you know, snail my way up the clocks. So we're going to go straight to 4.4. BZ is running 2 dual rank, the same as running 4 single rank. Yes. I literally have a video demonstrating as much. Why do I still get this question? Why doesn't nobody watch the videos I make? Like, it's not that bloody hard. Like, that video even shows the effects it has on overclocking. It covers absolutely everything you need to know about single rank versus dual rank memory configurations. Except I guess because I ran it on Intel instead of AMD so that I could have a memory controller that doesn't behave all weird, nobody wants to watch it. It's like the information is right freaking there. Speaking of there, where is it? Because I'm looking for the video and I can't find it. Mostly because I can't remember how long ago it is that I produced it. It's relatively recent, right? 2x16. Oh, there we go. Yeah, practical. Oh, it's because the memory isn't in the... Practical demonstration of dual rank and single rank memory configuration differences. You couldn't ask for a more accurate freaking title. Like... The thing is like, I make all these freaking videos, and then I get questions about things covered in the bloody videos. Constantly. Absolutely constantly. And I'm just like, why did I even bother? I could have just kept answering the stupid emails. Because I still get them. It's like, you know... Because it's like the whole reason I did that video is because I was sick and tired of getting questions from people that were like, what is the difference between 2x16 and 4x8? Oh, damn it, I forgot to open hardware info. Wait, it didn't insta-crash. Are you kidding me? No, this is not supposed to not insta-crash. That's... Like, it's 4.4 gigahertz. How is it not... like, it's 4.4 at less than 1.2. How is it not instantly crashing? Like, it's not actually even 1.2. It's less than 1.2. Did it not start? Ah, there it is. Yeah, it's a 1.175 and it's running 4.4. 195 amps almost. Yeah, there we go, 195. Oh, man. And yeah, it's hot. Of course it's hot. So that's fun. Okay, now we're at 95 because the water cooling loop is getting hot. But it doesn't instantly lock up. I'm surprised. Why is your date set to 2021? I don't know. It just is. Like, it's probably a side effect of the system never being connected to the internet, so... yeah. It's never been a reason for me to fix the date. So I'm kind of toying with the idea of trying to run 40... Like, if it runs 45, like, running 45 at 1.2, but with, like, extreme LLC, because it should just insta-crash at that point. Crash very quickly, at least. $1080 Ti KPE? Yes, indeed. Originally, the plan was to... Well, actually... Well... Originally, the plan. There was no plan. Stop pretending I make plans. Things just happen. And Minecraft didn't go the way I wanted, so... Yeah, but I do want to do some Firestrike benchmarking with the 5950X and the KPE here. But I don't think I'm going to do that right now, because honestly, I wasn't planning. Like, that's too much commitment in terms of doing a live stream, like, seriously overclocking for Firestrike with a 1080 Ti. It just keeps running? What? No. Like, it does 4.5 at less than 1.2 volts in freaking Prime 95 of all things. Like, okay, no, we're losing workers. Okay, so now it's on edge. But it's not outright dying. Are you getting the 3090 Kingpin? No, I'm not. I've not been sent a single Kingpin card. And you might be like, but how do you have a 1080 Ti? Well, I bought one on eBay. Yeah, like, this chip seems to be really good. So, now what I want to try is, like, how unstable will it be if we do that with this? Um, 6900 XT or 3090. So right now I'm probably gonna get a 3090. I still wouldn't say for, well, yeah, probably gonna get a 3090. Mostly because, like, on AMD, it's literally, like, with the, well, actually, I was thinking of doing a video just talking about why I don't really want a 6900 XT. Like, you know, everybody, when it comes to NVIDIA overclocking, everybody's like, oh, I don't have voltage control. I have too low power limits. And I'm just sitting here like, NVIDIA's power limits are implemented in hardware. So you can literally just desolder the power limits if you want to. Not literally desolder them, but you can, you get the idea. Like, with a little bit of soldering work, no more power limits. And with a little bit more soldering work, you have full voltage control. And if your card is cheap enough to have analog voltage controllers, like an FTW3, for example, then with even more soldering, you get load line control and switching frequency control, and actually all of the control. And then on the AMD side of things, well, you have literally one of the smartest digital voltage controllers you could ever hope to find on a GPU, and a power limit implemented through said very intelligent controller. And a driver that flips its shit when anything isn't quite right. So, yeah, NVIDIA cards are way more interesting to, like, work with, in my opinion, mostly because they're sort of easier to physically disable all the limitations. Whereas on AMD cards, all of the limitations are in software. And I don't know how to mod AMD's crappy drivers. If I did, I would be complaining about them all the time. So I expect this to just insta-crash. Or, okay, no? Oh, wait, no, we just lost way more workers. And we lost some more of them. No. But, man, it's annoying when you don't... Like, I miss the days when on a system you could start a benchmark and the whole thing would just drop. It just doesn't happen anymore. Not unless you're, like, way on the edge, but for whatever... Like, Prime 95 doesn't do it. But on old CPUs, if you ran Prime 95 and it was unstable, like, the whole thing would just go down. And now it's like, nah, I'm just gonna kind of run. I'm gonna lose, like, most of my workers, but I'm gonna run anyway. Yeah, see? It does, like, it doesn't even bloody start some of them. They never even go up to full load. That's annoying. I was really hoping for, like, the whole blue screen because of too much load line, but oh well. Anyway, I think that's it for today. So the Minecraft idea, unfortunately, did not work. It... Uh, So I should buy 3200 CL14. Like, if you're buying 3200 CL14, you should overclock it or you're wasting a bunch of money. When will be video with R9 5950X? I don't know. I've not really figured out what I want to do. Like, the issue right now is, like, AMD needs to stop, like, the BIOSes need to, like, stop sucking. And once they do that, then I'll start considering making a video. Because there's no point in making a video and then, like, 3 weeks later, like, 2 weeks later, the BIOS works completely different. And everything you just did in the video doesn't work anymore. Right? Like, because that's my main concern is, like, if I do a video about the Precision Boost overdrive system right now, then in, like, 2 weeks, I'll find out that on the new BIOS update, none of that stuff works anymore, or it works differently. And it's just like, yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna wait. I'm just gonna wait until we have, like, some like somewhat stable final AGSA, and, you know, like, I can actually make a video with the knowledge that this is gonna last more than the next 24 hours. Per CCX static. But that's pointless, as far as I'm concerned. Like, you're better off going PBO for most, like, for most workloads, especially with something like a 5950X. Per CCX static doesn't change. Yeah, so, like, right now the video is like, so you can per CCX your CPU, it'll be slower than if you just left it on PBO. Well, except if you're hitting it with, like, super heavy workloads. Because that's, like, the thing is, like, PBO still, even with the curve optimizer, like, because the curve optimizer is still really dumb. Like, you don't actually get to adjust voltage points for different parts of the curve. Like, you just get this adjustment to the entire curve. So logically, and we still have that whole issue of, like, the medium speeds are unstable. That's the low core, like, the very high core usage, low clock speeds, those are fine. The mid-range stuff is where the problems always show up. You have CCXOC on your Renoir. I do, but it's 8 core. It doesn't really make a ton of sense. Is there a reason you have been using the B550 lately? Which B550? The Unify and the Master? Well, they're both literally just better than all of my X570 boards. Like, if right now a board partner was like, "Hey, Buildzoid, do you want to design an overclock? Like, do you want to help us design an overclocking motherboard?" It would use a B550 chipset, because the X570 chipset is, in my opinion, just bad. Also, the chipset is, like, you know, the bottom part of the motherboard. It's, like, right here. It doesn't actually do anything for overclocking. But the thing is, all of my X570 boards are old and on old memory topologies. And so well, actually, that's not true. Not all of them are old. But it's, like, the most modern one I have is an X570 Tomahawk, which is fine, I guess, but doesn't have a postcode. So, you know, I don't really want to work with that. So, yeah. Do on 4 DIMMs, like 4200 plus. I've never bothered to test high speed on like, I mean, we could try that now, I guess. The thing is just, like, it's completely pointless to go over your Infinity Fabric on Ryzen. And if you're going for raw frequency, like, I'm assuming you're doing it for showing off, in which case you should just be running 2 memory sticks single rank. Honestly, we don't need that. What am I doing? I heard that Crucial Ballistics 2x16 are single rank. How is that possible? Shouldn't they be 8 gigabit? No, they use Rev B now. Or more like they use both. So, literally, with memory vendors, the reason, like, no memory vendor will ever guarantee, or actually, no, that's not true. But generally speaking, memory vendors don't guarantee specific memory chips. Okay, so 4200 doesn't work. Which is basically what I was expecting to happen. But yeah, 4200 doesn't work. It just F9s. But yeah, so the thing is, memory vendors don't guarantee memory chips because their goal is to switch, like, the memory vendors will literally put any memory chip that matches the spec of the kit. And the kit, if you're buying a 16 gig stick, it says 16 gigs. It doesn't say 16 gigs 2 ranks. It says 16 gigs. Now, if you're buying industrial memory, like server, like OEM memory sticks for like server applications and OEMs, then you can buy specific rank counts. Like you can buy specifically a 1 rank stick or a 2 rank stick or that kind of thing. Because if you're building a server, it's kind of very important to know exactly what memory you're using. But for consumer applications, like if you're buying a 2x16 kit, they're gonna build those 16 gig sticks out of the cheapest memory that can match the spec. And as of right now, 16 gigabit memory chips are more cost effective than a stack of 8 gigabit memory chips. Therefore, 16 gig DIMMs that don't have, actually, really aggressive 16 gig DIMMs would actually require 16 gigabit memory chips more so than the tamer ones. So basically, yeah, if you're buying 16 gig sticks right now, you're going to kind of get whatever happens to be available that day. Actually, I've already seen 16 gigabit based 16 gig Crucial sticks. And not like my ones. Like, I think I've seen a 3600 CL16 kit of Crucial, like regular Crucial Ballistics memory sticks that were single rank. Which is like, yeah, that makes perfect sense. Like, they never said they're going to be dual rank forever. Anyway, I'm done for today. So yeah, I guess thanks for watching. Thanks for the super chats. This really didn't go the way I planned, but oh well, like that's just AHOC live streams for you right there. Yeah, so goodbye. I'm just gonna hit the stop button at this point. It's not like I have an outro.